everybody. It's Leah with Running USA, and I am so excited to be here today with Lena Andersson, who has quite an impressive list of titles at Go Running Tours. She is not only the founder and CEO, she's head of the IT help desk, she's the chief customer service agent, she's the director of office cleaning, and can't leave out, she's a past Danish champion in the beer mile. So welcome, Lena.
Thank you. That's quite an introduction.
I mean, we're going to have our hands full with talking about all of that. But thanks for being with us. Tell us where you are in the world today.
I'm in Copenhagen, so I'm based in Copenhagen, Denmark. So almost on the opposite side of the globe than you, Leah.
Very cool. Well, let's get to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and also how you came to found Go Running Tours.
Yeah. As I mentioned, I live here in Copenhagen. I'm 46, and I live here with my wife, and we have two children, a boy who's 11 and a girl who's 9. And I have I'm of course the founder of Go Running Tours, where we do these in-person guided runs in now 70 cities worldwide. And in terms of how it started, then I used to be in corporate life. So I used to be in the private sector. And that's really my background. I've always been in sort of marketing and strategy and always in very large global companies. And in my last role, or my last real job, I had 200 travel days a year. So it was all over the world. Every week was a new city, and I used running to see all these incredible places. I promised myself if I was going to travel the world with work, I would also allow myself to see these places. But running was really the only way to do this. I went running in Dubai, in Sao Paulo, in Cape Town, in all these places, Shanghai. And it was incredibly exciting, but sometimes it would be difficult to run. And sometimes, for example, in Sao Paulo, I would take a taxi to a park to run and then take a taxi back. In Cape Town, I actually went for a run, but I sort of sneaked out while the night concierge was there, and then I came back, and the hotel staff was like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, "I've just been for a run, and I saw this, and then I went here, and I went here," and they were like, "You really shouldn't be doing that again." So I also ended up in this situation where it was a little bit difficult to run sometimes, or at least difficult if you're not a local. And that's really how Go Running Tour started, because I was thinking, well, why am I not able to run when I go traveling? Why can I not go for a run? Why can I not use running to see a city? And then I was thinking, I'm probably not the only one with this problem. And that's really how Go Running Tours started. It was after a trip to Mumbai, where I absolutely saw nothing of Mumbai because I couldn't go running, that I went home and sort of said, hey, to my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and I asked her, what do you think about me quitting my career and just becoming a running guide? And she was like, that's a perfect idea. So that's really how it started. Then I started doing the tours just in Copenhagen, and then we've expanded ever since. So we are now in 70 cities around the globe.
Amazing. That is such a great story. I absolutely love it. And what would we do without our supportive partners, right?
Yeah.
That's really, really cool that she was just like, go for it.
But tell you what, Leah, now 10 years in, a little bit more, I haven't dared to ask her if it's still okay if I continue, you know?
Well, if she's around, maybe we should ask her today. That would be cool. So for those who have never had the chance to go on one of these tours, to kind of take us through the process, what is it like? How do you meet your guide, and what do you do?
Yeah. So we have, I mean, it all boils down to running tours. It all boils down to going running with a local guide. So exploring a city, getting your run in a safe way, and really sort of understanding the culture. And we have sort of for regular travelers or business travelers, we have mostly private tours. So this is where travelers on their own, they go on the website. So for example, Leah, if you're in Copenhagen, in my city, then you would say, okay, I would like to do the must-see tour of Copenhagen tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. from the Hyatt. You would book it and you would pay on the website. And then next morning, you would walk down to reception at 7 a.m. And myself or one of my colleagues would be standing there. And then we would guide you on a run. We would run and we would show you the city. We would stop by the Mermaid, we would stop by the Royal Palace. You'll know everything about the royal family, both what you can read and also all the gossip. And then you'll come back, and along the way, you'll also know, okay, actually, here's the best place for pastry. And if you want a really good coffee, this is where you want to go, and you need to go here because there's no tourists there, and so on. So it's a mix of sort of history and local knowledge, and of course, getting your run in. So that's really for individual travelers, and then also for for larger groups, for conferences, for running clubs, for events. Then we also do bigger events. So, for example, next in a couple of weeks, we're in Texas, and we have 300 people at a conference who's going out for a run. Yeah.
So, how do you find the runners who are the guides? I imagine that might be challenging if you're not in those cities yourself.
Yeah. So we're at a place now where we're a little bit lucky that we actually get a lot of applications simply coming in. So a lot of times people simply write if they're in a city and they get to know about our company. They write and say, I would like to be a guide. And we have this application form that people simply fill out. They say what city they're in, and then they explain about themselves and about why we should what they find interesting about their city. That's the majority of how we recruit the guides. If we have a destination where we really need guides, but we haven't really found the right person, then we advertise for it as a normal job ad. And then of course it goes into the regular process. And what I've learned, ironically, is that I've made the application process more and more difficult because we get quite a lot of applications, and then sometimes it's also people thinking just really quickly, oh, that'll be fun, and they'll fill it out, and we spend a lot of time recruiting and so on, and then it didn't really work out. So now that we have a very it's a little bit more difficult. We only get the ones who are really interested, who has the patience to fill everything out and take that time. So that's how we sort of find the right people.
And in what city in the world have these tours been the most popular, and why do you think that is?
I think it corresponds a lot with sort of travel numbers. So Rome is of course a big city, Paris, London. It's sort of the bigger cities. Well, and then Venice, of course, which is not a big city at all. But wherever we can see a high number of travelers, both sort of leisure and for business, that's usually where we can see the biggest uptake. And then, of course, where have we been the longest? So we can also see year on year, all destinations are sort of picking up and becoming more and more and more popular. On top of that is also that sort of looking at where our clients are or where our guests are. Most of them are actually in the US, but they run with us in Europe or anywhere else but the US. We do have people running with us in the US, but mostly it's in other cities outside the US.
Okay.
So that's also why. I mean, New York City is a popular city, but it's not like one of our top ranking cities because those are the European cities, and Tokyo.
Well, I went running in Venice by myself and I got terribly lost. So
Yeah.
I definitely should have taken one of your tours because I don't even know where I went. So, are there
It's
any cities that you are looking to expand to now, at places where you don't have folks that you'd like to find people?
Um, there's a couple which is of interest to us if we find the right person. So right now we're looking sort of Valencia, Malaga in Spain. Also because we have some large conferences coming up. Then soon we'll be going live in Denver, which I'm very much looking forward to. And in the US, I think there's a couple of more. I can't remember exactly which ones is on Linda's list, but there's a few more.
Very cool. Now, Go Running Tours is a relatively new member of Running USA, so thank you so much for that. And I wanted to ask, what are some of your hopes for connecting with other members and US running events? What would you like folks to know about you, and how do you want to interact with the population there?
I think my hope is first of all is to learn. This is a new industry. Well, we've been in the running industry for a long time, but sort of
Mhm.
stepping into sort of running USA with race organizers and especially also the US market. That's new learning. for me especially, but also for the company. So it's very much going in and learn and say, okay, well, how does this all work? Who are the people? And then really starting to understand, can we collaborate with some of the other members? Do we fit in? Is there can we bring value in any way? So that's my approach. It might be a super Danish approach, going in really quiet and just figuring out, hey, what's going on? Hi, I'm Lena, and then trying to see if we can collaborate. But I think that's what I would like to do the most is to really understand the industry, build some relations in with the other members, and then I'm pretty sure little by little, this is how it always works. We'll figure out actually this is how we can work together, and we can sort of get into a partnership where there's a lot of benefits for everyone.
Amazing. That sounds fantastic. And hopefully we'll see you in St. Louis in February for the conference. And that's a great place to chat with a lot of folks who have events across the country. Lena, is
I'm
there
looking forward
anything
to it.
else that you would like to add before we let you go?
No, I think that's it. I mean, this is a new exciting step for us as a company to be part of running USA. First, thank you for allowing us in. But I'm really excited about it, and I have high hopes for being part of your community. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. Thank you so much, and great to learn about you. Have a great day.
Likewise, thank you.